Here they go, making their way through turns 3 and 4. And for the first time in over a decade, the World Crown 300 is green, and we are green here at Cordele. Not a great start down on the bottom for the 45 of Christensen. We'll see if he's got to kind of back up there. Here comes the 24 of Bochelle. And it looks like we are going to keep this one green. They called the 24 of Gavin Bochelle. They needed him to back off a little bit as the field begins to spread out. There you see that car moving up into the second position, the number 5 of Johnny Sauter. As we've got cars going around in turns 1 and 2, and it's the 26. Bubba Pollard is around.
A horrible day gets even worse for Pollard on just the second lap of the day as he finds himself pointed in the wrong direction. I assume in that pack of traffic towards the tail is up out of the groove, but doesn't really have anything to do with it. And Lovelady in the 98 got in there a little too hot, tagged the rear of the 26 of Pollard. You see the 97 McMahon.
4 laps up on the board. As we come by this next time, we ask all of our race fans and everyone here in attendance and everyone watching around the world on RacingAmerica.tv, we're going to honor the life of legendary short tracker Bobby Gill. As the caution is going to come out, we're going to hold up on that. And Derek Thorne, the 96, is involved. And we've got big trouble down on the inside of turns 3 and 4. Okrezik is down there. Michael Hinde is down there. It looks like John Kaufman in the 58 is parked there at the accident scene, but it doesn't look like much damage to the 58 of Kaufman as it looks like he's going to roll away. But that looks big-time issues for the 96 of Derek Thorne. Of a lot of these super late models and pro late models, and I had mentioned it in the modifieds as well, as you see heavy lap traffic, and Jet Nolan is looking to take advantage of it. Nick Loden on the outside. John Kaufman down there. Oh, man, we thought about going 3 or 4 wide there for just a moment, but Jet Nolan, he is going to take advantage, and he is going to take the race lead with 235 laps to go in this one. New race leader, it's Jet Nolan with Gavin Bochelle dropping back to second.
Do you plan to go to the outside of every pass, or is it something that developed throughout the course of the race?
Well, one of our pro late model races this year, Bubba and his crew, they showed up in an open trailer. And they just put a whooping on everybody. And he did it on the outside. That was where he liked to make the moves. That's where he had his race car set up for. Didn't push, didn't overdrive the race cars. There you see quite a bit of smoke coming out of the back. I believe that was the 69 of Michael Hinde. I'll check to see if that might have actually been the 14 of Michael Atwell. But we'll keep an eye on that going forward. As there you see Seth Christensen starting to try to rebound. Seth currently running in 10th. And there it is. Damage on the left front of the 69 of Michael Hinde. So he has definitely gotten some contact, and it's cutting down on that left front American Racer tire. We're going to keep an eye on that going forward. There goes Christensen. He's going to take 9th away from Michael Atwell.
We got to go because Michael Hinde is getting bigger in my rearview mirror. They'll get to the outside of Nick Loden, and you see Sauter right on the rear bumper and having to push and push and push. We got to go. We can't ride anymore. There's 115 laps to go this time.
We've got our ticker restored, and Johnny Sauter has said it's time to make the move. Johnny Sauter on the inside with 115 laps to go, takes over the race lead and gets around the 54 of Matt Craig. Let's see what Sauter is able to do if he elects to kind of ride here or if he looks to try to open that gap between he and Craig. And for Matt Craig now, he's going to be worried about that 69 of Michael Hinde before you know it, as Michael is closing in just a few car lengths off the back bumper of that 54.
It took a while, but the new tires did overtake the old tires. But if you're Matt Craig, you got to love where you are right now. I took the gamble, come and get the tires and try to hold them off. And for about 75 laps on this run, it worked out just
Billy
perfect.
Van Meter. And here you go, the 69 of Michael Hinde out of the inside, looking to take the second spot away. What a race it's been for Michael Hinde, who had trouble early on, had to go to the tail end of the field, and has charged back up to the second position, the highest he's ran all day here with 92 to go. Craig back to third, Nasse not far behind in fourth.
Hinde might win the award for passing the most race cars today, no doubt about it, but he's got to pass one more to get the one that he really wants, and that's the top spot over Johnny Sauter. Going to have 90 laps to go next time, 210 down, 90 to go. Everybody's got a set of tires sitting in the pits, but they may not have a chance to put them on.
Well, Michael Hinde moves up into the second position. We'll see what the gap is. It opened up on that last lap. Johnny Sauter has a 2.1 second advantage. It grew by 0.2 of a second that last time by. As you see Craig to the inside, Nasse's going to try to make the move around Craig on the outside as Nasse continues to pick up the pace. And for Craig, I mean, you got to give him a tip of the cap for hanging on as long as he has on that set of tires here. But it looks like he's starting to falter here as we continue on here. Byron Outdoor Superstore pace vehicle is back in the pit area, and we are back to green as Johnny Sauter leads the field down into turns 1 and 2, gets away very clean. Here comes Nasse to the inside. Hinde on the outside. They're neck and neck for second as Nasse's going to draw ahead just a little bit and close right to the back bumper of the 5 of Johnny Sauter as they come out of turn number 4. Michael Hinde to the outside. Can he take the race lead away from the 5 of Johnny Sauter?
3 or 4 now as you see Craig enter the picture of the hardest racers in the country. None of them are going to give any type of inches to either one of them. We see Hinde swing to the outside. Nasse takes a peek to the bottom, but Sauter's still the man out in front. 72 laps to go.
If Sauter's going to push the 69 of Hinde up the racetrack just a little bit, you can bet the 51 of Nasse is going to be there to take advantage on the bottom. Look at this gaggle of cars on the right side of your screen as the battle for the race lead continues on. Pollard, Kraus, Christensen, and Noland all going wheel to wheel deep in the field. Here comes Nasse to the inside.
Nasse turned that car dead left off to turn number 2 and had a fender inside the quarter panel for the race lead, but could not make it pay off. Now he'll move Johnny Sauter out of the way. Contact between Hinde and Sauter. Nasse gets away with the race lead.
With less than 75 laps to go in this one, 70 to go to be exact. It's going to be the 51 of Stephen Nasse to the race lead. The 69 of Michael Hinde now to the inside as Johnny Sauter looks to try to hang on to the top 2 spots. Business is picking up here at Cordele.
The pushing is starting to become shoving, and the tapping is starting to become punching here late in the World Crown 300. Nasse, your race leader. Hinde now second. Sauter has been kicked back to third. Matt Craig and the rest of the field trying to chase him down with less than 70 to go.
Race. Nasse, a veteran. Did he maybe tell Hinde too many of the secrets? Michael Hinde on the inside, wheel to wheel with Stephen Nasse for the race lead as they approach 55 laps to go in the World Crown 300. Nasse on the outside tries to hang tough, but it's Michael Hinde on the bottom. See what kind of a run he gets off the corner that time. Nasse with a great launch coming out of 2. Michael Hinde draws even as they enter turn number 3.
2 years ago, Michael Hinde got his breakthrough pro late model victory right here at Cordele Motor Speedway, and he's like, okay, the super win is coming the next week. Well, he's been waiting and waiting and waiting. Is tonight at Cordele Motor Speedway, the night where Michael Hinde finally scores that breakthrough super late model win in one of the biggest in the country.
He's been running in some of the biggest events throughout the country over the last couple of seasons, running regionally and nationally, and competing with the very, very best there is, but just has not secured that breakthrough win like you mentioned. But here tonight, he is putting on one heck of a show, battling with our race leader, the 51 of Stephen Nasse, and look who's on the back bumper of both the 69 and 51. Here comes Johnny Sauter.
The longer those two leaders run
contact.
side by side, and there's contact. Michael Hinde got into the side of Stephen Nasse. Nasse up the racetrack, smoke pouring out of the right front momentarily and pouring out of the helmet of Stephen Nasse, I'm sure. We were just saying the longer those two guys ran side by side, the easier it was going to be for Johnny Sauter to catch them. Well, now they ain't running side by side anymore. Sauter is now elbows up, chasing the race lead with Stephen Nasse in hot pursuit.
Kresick in the Southern Super Series race earlier this year get door-to-door, make contact late in the going with Casey Roderick, the Southern Super Series champion this year. And Kresick was not afraid to mix it up at the end of that one and not afraid to do it again here, this time with Nasse. But here comes Connor O'Kresick looking to move up into the top 3 for the first time here tonight as we approach 41 laps to go.
Kresick went to work on Nasse about 4 laps ago and will finally slide by to his inside to take over the 3rd position with 40 laps to go. He's got about 10 car lengths to make up to go battle for 2nd against Johnny Sauter. And by the way, Sauter is getting a little bit closer to our race leader, Michael Hinde. Now,
Hinde into turns 3 and 4 for the final time. And for the first time in 10 years, A World Crown winner is crowned, and it's the 69 of Michael Hinde. He wins the 32nd World Crown 300 at Cordele Motor Speedway.
An up and down night for Michael Hinde ends with the highest of highs as he will be a World Crown 300 winner. And what a party it will be in Hernando, Florida. What a party it will be in Victory Lane.